Word. Word. What up, Jaguars? This is Left Side of the Brain. Today, before I get started, how y'all doing today? That's good. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. We got the live stream coming up this Wednesday. Don't miss out. We got the live stream. What we say, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a hotline number. What else? What else new? Yeah, been working on the book. What else new? Good. So I'm looking forward to speaking to everybody. I'm just out here today. Feels good out here, actually. I love the fall time because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it feels just right. And I have something to do later, so let's get right into this video. Hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, add us on Instagram at Left Side of the Brain too. Let's get right into it. So today I got up and I said, God, what do you want me to speak about today? And before I entered the shower, he told me. And two words came into my mind. It said, pain and suffering. And, I questioned that and I said, okay, pain and suffering, but what? And then, as I was in the shower, he started telling me and talking to me. And he let me know. And this is what he told me. You might think that you are skin, flesh, and bones, but really, that's not who you are. You are pain and suffering. And not only pain and suffering, you are also joy, you are ecstasy, you are satisfaction, you are all of these things. What are all of those things that I just named? Emotions. That's exactly what you are. You are emotions. Because without emotions, you are not even alive. Emotions is what a person and their existence is contingent upon. Without emotions, you don't have an existence. And he continued to speak to me. Without emotions, you don't have an existence. And we just got finished with the series. For those who don't know, this is fall semester. We just got finished with the series of relationship rehab. So if you haven't checked those videos out, you need to go ahead and check those out after you watch this one. To all of the newcomers on the channel. And he let me know that we are emotions as well. And those emotions are also a drug. So this video is emotions rehab. Because see, this whole thing, this whole Jaguar thing, it's about, see, the difference with this channel and other YouTube channels, this is a therapy session. This is a university setting. Each video, it connects with the other video. And it's all about maturing and growth on this channel. If it's not about that, then it's not about anything, And I'll never forget a comment that one of our dear subscribers left one time, and it just stuck with me. And they said something in regards to, if it's not practical, They said practicality. If it's not practical, why are we even doing this? Why are you even here listening to left side of the brain? If it's not practical, why even do the live stream? You see? So this is emotions rehab. So God, he further let me know. He said, emotions, they are also a drug. You know how people, they go to the drug dealer to get their drugs, to get their high, to get their little fix, their marijuana, they crystal meth, their LSD, whatever it is. And they keep going back. This is what the Spirit let me know, that inside of you, you have these chemicals. They are already inside of you, right? And these emotions, this is what you are. So what it is, many times we get caught up in these emotions. And these emotions that we have, many times, you know how if a person get addicted to drugs and then, you know, their job performance will decline. In other areas in their life, it will start to decline because they have this crutch that they need. Well, this life is the same. You know, we just set out the premise that life is emotions. But when you get overindulgent in these emotions, you become addicted. You become addicted to whatever it is, whatever attachment that it may be, that's stimulating certain emotions within yourself. And this can lead you off of your path. You see, you know how they say in war, see, it's in certain areas in your life, and you can use this, it's applicable to many various situations. This is for male, female, whoever. It's applicable to various situations. I'm gonna give you an example, because we say on this channel, we substantiate things with examples. Okay? I'm gonna give you an example. In wartime, you have special forces. You have Green Beret, you have Navy SEAL, and these special forces, they have to go through training, especially like a sniper. A sniper, they have to go through training, and they have to divest themselves of emotions. You ever heard the term a stone cold killer? That's the job that they have to perform. Like a sniper, a sniper, he may have to take out one of the enemy. And he may have to, that's his job duty. He has to kill them. He has to eliminate them. How can he perform that task if he is caught up in his emotions? You see what I'm saying? He's caught up in his emotions. So when it's time for him to pull the trigger, he's going to be thinking about this person I'm about to take out. They have a family, they have a wife, they have kids. And if he get caught up in his emotions, what will happen? He will ease up off of the trigger and he won't pull the trigger. Okay? Now I'm just using that example to expound on other areas in life. Okay? Case in point, what we doing right now, we dealing with truth. Truth. On this channel, we have a acronym for truth, and it means the right understanding to heaven. That's what truth means. T, the, R, right, U, understanding, T, to H, heaven. So sometimes when you are caught up in your emotions, just like in the situation with that sniper, you may continue to hold on to old attachments that are stagnating you for instance, it could be friends, family members. Trust me, like I tell y'all, I'm real transparent. You know, I deal with it too. Certain people that you grew up with, you got to let some of them people go, man. I wrestle with that too. And sometimes those people, they represent old drugs. Old drugs. You see what I'm saying? They may give you a phone call. They may ring you up. You'll see their number. You know they no good. And you be saying to yourself, damn, man, should I answer the phone? I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But just like that sniper, sometimes you have to say to yourself, this person got feelings, but who am I looking out for? Me or them? I've been in situations like that sometimes. And because you are a good person, you still got that morality in you. And I've said it before. See, even that morality stuff, it can be pseudo at times. You see, if it's preventing you from growing and from liberation, like I said in the relationship drug rehab video, anything that's preventing you from growing and preventing you from liberation, it's a drug. It's a setback. It's a dependency. And you have to have the spine, the courage to let it go. You just got to let it go. You got to divorce it. You just got to drop it and just move forward. It's like shedding old skin. You know how snakes, they shed the old skin? You got to do the same thing. You have to shed that old life and leave it behind you. You know how you walking on the beach and you look back and you got a trail of footprints? You got to leave those footprints behind and cover new ground. You see what I'm saying? And because if you don't, the past will lead you, and it will lead you down a path in life that you have already covered. I've had that situation before in my life. Like, it's been people and they, I grew up with them and whatever, and then you might see them. Hey, how you doing? Such and such. I'm doing good. They might be on your Facebook, Instagram, and you try to rehatch those old feelings and it's just not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's counterproductive to go back into those old situations. It's counterproductive. So really, those emotions can be a setback, and in some regards, emotions can help you. Sometimes emotions can, see, an emotion is attached to everything in life, right? You can have negative emotions that feel good. Like, you can be doing a drug that feels good, is giving you a high, but it's destroying your life. But at the same time, it's manipulating you and creating an illusion to make you feel good. See, everything that feels good is not good for you. You might be in a relationship with a female and you having sex and it feels good and you like it. That's just a physical emotion. It feels good, but it's not good for you. It's a lot of things in life that can fit that description. Food, certain food we eat, a lot of different things. And your emotions, many times, they can lead you down the wrong path, and they can keep you attached to certain things because it's a drug. So what you have to learn to do is you have to say to yourself, I have to master the chemicals that I am made up of. See, we made up of elements. You see, we are made up of elements. So to master your emotions, you are acting as an alchemist. At the point when you start mastering yourself and mastering your emotions, at that point, you are acting as an alchemist. And that's a good thing. You are changing, like you are mutating chemicals in your body, and you are controlling them into the direction that you desire them to take you, instead of them controlling you, instead of you being controlled by every chemical that's released from your brain. You see? And this, as I was taking a shower, the Spirit, gave me more insights. And another thing that was given to me was these emotions, they don't define themselves. Fear, it doesn't define itself. Let me give you an example. You ever been on a roller coaster, right? And on that roller coaster, it's fear if you are afraid. But you can turn that fear to what? Excitement and fun. You ever been on a roller coaster and you take that plunge? It's fearful, but it's like you like it. So you get right back in line and you get right back on that roller coaster, because you didn't define it as fear in the sense of this is going to take my life away from me. That's not how you defined it. So you look at it as a amusement. That's what they call it. You see, if you was really afraid of it, because let me explain this even better. It's just like this. If somebody put you in a cage with a lion, the same chemicals will release in your brain. The same panic chemicals will release in your brain like the ones that was released when you was on the roller coaster. The only difference is when you in the cage with the lion, the stakes of something going wrong or you getting ate alive is way higher than you being on the roller coaster and worrying about anything happening to you. Because you feel like I'm in a seatbelt. So this is fear. These are fear chemicals, but I'm turning it into amusement. Somebody put you in a cage with a lion, and what? You take that same fear and you play with it. You manipulate it. Excuse me, somebody put you in a cage with a lion, that same fear, you don't look at it as amusement. You look at it as a life and death situation. You get what I'm saying? But you will watch a movie of somebody fighting a lion. You will watch a movie of a gladiator fighting a lion. And you will feel the person's energy through the movie. It'll make you feel a certain kind of way. Just like when you go into a horror movie, like Michael Myers, something like that. You playing around with the fear, but you are controlling it because you're telling yourself that this is not real. So you get what I'm saying? Like when you take control of your emotions, your mind is like the chemistry lab, because that's all we are. We just walking chemists basically, and we don't even know it. It's not until you take control of these chemicals in your brain, that's when you become a master of self. That's what being a master of self is about. Everybody is a walking alchemist. You just have to be able to Like people will meet me sometimes and they'll say, "Hey man, how are you so calm?" Because you ever met me and we was just speaking, you will see how calm I am. That didn't come overnight. Over time, I learned how to master my emotions. I learned how to look at pain and suffering. Remember I was telling you about taking control of the fear? I learned how to master my pain and suffering and turn it into amusement. No, excuse me. Remember I was telling you about the roller coaster and how you can look at that fear and you can look at it as amusement instead of just raw panic. Well, the reason why I learned how to be so calm is because I learned how to look at pain and suffering as a lesson or a test of my endurance. That's how I became stronger. So now I'm at the point where somebody can tell me that such and such died. And it's like I have become desensitized of emotions. And to some people that can be a scary thing because it'll make them feel like, am I still human? But that's when you get into that stage of being a master. And that brings up a story. I remember it's a story about Jesus. And they had told him that his cousin had died. And he didn't even get alarmed by it. And when I was a kid and when I had read that story and how he didn't get all excited and started crying and how he didn't get all emotional, you know, I said to myself, wow, how could Jesus just be so cold like that? But then, you know, as I grew up and I began to think about it, the older I got, see, when you hear something when you're a child, you really don't understand the message of it at the time. You know, it takes time to develop. Like I said, this is a growing process. So things, they don't just happen overnight. So, Jesus was told that his cousin had died. And the only thing he did, he just said, he was like, okay. Then he said, he's not dead, he's just sleeping. Then he said, come forth. And his cousin, he came alive. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that Lazarus? Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know y'all real good. Most of the people on this channel, they study and read anyway. So if I'm wrong, just let me know. But I believe that story is Lazarus that I'm speaking about. And, you know, he just looked at that situation like an everyday situation. Like, yeah, it wasn't like he was apathetic about it. It was just that he had control over his emotions. He knew how to guide his life without getting immersed in self. You get what I'm saying? Almost like an air pilot. He has to have nerves of steel. Because say if the plane is going down, he got all of those all of those passengers on board. What if he just lose his mind? Start screaming. Would you want to be in a plane with somebody who don't have control of their emotions? You get what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, that's why I say that when you hanging around people that's not on this, ignorant people, I did a video entitled Don't Have Small Talk with People. If you haven't seen that video, homework assignment, go watch it. And the reason why I say that is because they don't have control of their emotions. It's no way you can have control of your emotions and still be mentally dead at the same time. These zombies don't have control of their emotions. Somebody else controls them. because they program. If you program, how can you have control over anything? You see what I'm saying? So when you hanging around people like that, that's why I don't go to clubs. See, the things I'm saying, it's not as deep as it sounds. It's really practical when you think about it. Let me give you an example. This is why I don't go to clubs. This is why I don't go places where a lot of young people are. And I'm not even that old, but I'm just saying, I know how they think. I don't go to clubs. I don't hang out at bars. I'll go every now and then, but very rare. And the reason why is because when you mix them type of people together, it's like, let me give you an example. If you take two wires, right? And if you take two different substances, right? Certain substances are not made to come together because it would create an explosion. You know what I'm saying? So if you take some gasoline and a match, what you got? You got a combustion. Because have y'all ever heard of the fire triangle? The ingredients for fire is heat, oxygen, and ignition. So let's just say each one of these ingredients for fire represents a situation I'm speaking of. So if I go into a certain club and a person got some heat on them, and we know in street terminology, heat, that means a gun. A gun, ignorance, that represents the ignition in a fire triangle. And oxygen, that means we're going to say that oxygen represents the crowd of ignorant people. So you got three things. You got the heat. The ignorance is the ignition. That's what's going to ignite it. And the oxygen is, in order for something to take place, it has to have something to breathe. And so in order for a fire to live, it has to breathe. So even me just being there is the oxygen to it. I'm the life in the room. So that's why I don't go into those situations, because it's just an ingredient for, like they say, for something to pop off. So you have to know who you're around. That's why I roll solo, dolo. It's a protection in being intelligent and smart like this. You know how people go and hire bodyguards? I don't have to hire a bodyguard. You know why? Because I don't need crowds. You get what I'm saying? The reason why the president needs secret services around him, because he's out in the open. You see? He's saying things that's pressing some people's buttons. He's representing a nation that may have interest that goes against the interest of another nation. So he's always in the spotlight. So therefore, in that type of lifestyle, he needs protection. I'm the very opposite of that. You see? I move solo. I don't need protection because I think so smart. You see? My camouflage is my wisdom. It's my intelligence, the way I move. Intelligence. I think before I speak. But see, if you're controlled by your emotions, you won't know how to hold your tongue back in certain situations. You won't know who to talk to and who not to speak to. You'll be in situations and environments that you, a person with a soul, us, you'll be around them when you don't have no business around them. The united soul in a room full of trivial humans establishing mayhem. And you find, oh, I'm in a situation now. Duh. Many times when I find myself in situations, it's something I did. It's something I did, something I said. Think about it. When you tally up all of the minutes and hours in your life and you look at it and you reflect upon your life, think about all of the situations that you got yourself into and calculate how many of those situations, and be honest, how many of those situations was because some choice that you made. And out of all of those situations, how many of those situations did your conscience warn you about an action that you decided to take, but you didn't listen to your conscience and you did it anyway? You didn't listen to your emotions. I mean, you didn't listen to your conscience. You listened to your emotions. You see? The devil, he lives inside of our emotions. And like I said, these emotions can attach to anything. See, these drugs that's inside of us, like an emotion can be attached to, like for instance, you might get the notification that a left side of the brain video popped up. And you might get an emotion to want to watch this video because you already know left side of the brain, he gonna say something dynamic. He gonna say something I haven't heard before. He gonna say something with a different twist that I never heard before. I know after I watch this video, I'm going to be enlightened. That's a good emotion. You see what I'm saying? That's a good emotion to have. Y'all know why I just spit like that? And it's kind of off the chain from what we speaking about right now. See, sometimes I be in public, right? And somebody puts something in my mouth. They put an energy while I was just speaking. That's why I spit, because I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I didn't want to swallow the energy because it came from somewhere. And that can happen sometimes when people look at you. You know, I've been reluctant to say certain things that I feel, but somebody did something, because it's some cars. If you see right there, that car with that light, and I know they see me, and you see how the lights just turned out? As soon as I said that, that's a synchronicity. And in a lot of my videos, you'll see synchronicities. And that's just confirmation showing you that what I'm saying is real time and is manifesting as an example to let you know what I'm saying is the right thing. And that happens in a lot of my videos. So somebody tried to do something